so creepy cool to me. Possum in a tree. so creepy cool to me. Possum in a tree.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody to Bob's Barn Jamborees on this rainy Sunday afternoon. Let's see, I counted about 11 empty chairs yet. That's not counting the 4 that the 4 people come in are taking. So anyway, got a little bit of room yet. If there's some people that have not been here before and need to use the restroom, don't go out behind the barn. We did that one time, and the neighbors to the north started taking movies of us. So anyway, go out that door you came in, that red door you came in, go up that boardwalk into the house through that red door, and there's 2 restrooms in there you can use, one right off the inside door and one in the kitchen. Anyway, over here there's a can that a donation can that's being raised in the area. That helps Lynn and I keep things running here for the musicians and the watchers, and keep the floor fixed and the wires fixed and your life stuff. You know what it is. We want to ask you people. We want to save you some stress this afternoon. Please, no chit chat while Ted Yoder's show is going on. This is being broadcast live, and we know there's people different parts of the world, even down in Japan. Japan's, believe it or not, Japan's the second best hotbed in the world of our type of music. But anyway, so we don't want somebody calling you at 2 o'clock in the morning and asking you, how come you destroyed Ted Yoder's show? Just keep the stress away from you. Anyway, next week at 3 is going to be the Bozung Boys. They're out of Lowell, and they do bluegrass and light rock. They're fun people. Steve Hubbard is, a lot of you guys know him. I guess he runs the show. Let's see. Why don't you guys look like you're ready to give Ted Yoder a big round of applause for welcome. Let's hear it.
Thank you. If you didn't recognize that song, that was Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. And if you didn't recognize it, I blame Bob. Thanks for coming out. I know we're not facing winter weather here yet, so that was nice, but it sure seemed like it was 6 o'clock from about 9 a.m. this morning. So anyway, it's very interesting. All right, well, Bob was telling y'all to relax and just have a good time. I got to get my adrenaline and my zen going here. So actually, I have plenty of adrenaline, but this next song is an original piece of mine I wrote while driving through possibly the most boring part of these beautiful United States, otherwise known as Central Illinois. If you're an Illini, I'm sorry, but it is. It's just incredibly boring. I just drove through there, just the other day with some of my kids, and I was like, see, look how boring it is. Now you know why I say this joke. But that's probably just because I grew up in Indiana and we're not much better. Anyway, yes, I do write songs when I drive sometimes, but that doesn't mean I have a hammered dulcimer on my lap, and which would be kind of interesting. But anyway, this song is called Moon on the Water. Thank you very much. Midway through that song, I have this microphone stand sitting right here that normally isn't there, and that's when I go over and hit the damper. And I suddenly got scared of it that I was going to hit the microphone stand. All right, this one is a song that when I was about 18 years old, it was a hit, maybe 20, and it seems to get further and further away from me. And so this is one that was played on piano, and it was always one of my favorite songs, so I tried to pick it up and put it on the hammered dulcimer. This is a song by Mark Cohn called Walking in Memphis. Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. W.C. Handy, won't you look down over me? Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. And I was walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a Beale, walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? Saw the ghost of Elvis on Union Avenue, followed him up to the gates of Graceland. I watched him walk right through. Now security, they did not see him. They just huddled round his tomb. 'Cause there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room. And I was walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a Beale, walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? They've got catfish on the table, they've got gospel in the air. And Reverend Green, I'll be glad to see you when you haven't got a prayer. Boy, you got a prayer in Memphis. Muriel plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood, and they brought me down to see her. They asked me if I would do a little number, so I sang with all my might. She said, tell me, are you a Christian child? I said, ma'am, I am tonight. And I was walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a Beale, walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? Walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a Beale, walking in Memphis. Do I really feel the way I feel? Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. Thank you. Whew. A lot of water under the bridge since that song. I always thought it was pretty sexy when guitar players got to detune their instrument. It's not helping because I'm not getting any prettier. Well, thank you very much. It's really good to be here. Y'all are just wonderful to play for. For those of you who don't know, my name is Ted Yoder. I hail from the land of Goshen. I have 7 children. I'll let that sink in for a little bit. It's okay. They didn't come all at once. We're not cats. We didn't have a litter. So I know they do have me beat. I know. We met them at Everett a couple years ago, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so my wife and 2 of my kids are here. 2 of the littles. Let's see. What else should I tell you? I've been playing hammered dulcimer seriously for about 10 years. I've had one for about 20. So for that first 10 years, it sat in a corner, and I just looked at it. And I'm sure many of you can relate. So anyway, I consider myself a 10-year player. I don't know if that's fair or not, but I do. This next song I'm going to play for you is, I'll tell you a little bit of a story. It's a Scottish song. It was written by a guy by the name of Dougie MacLean. And he had, I thought it was his grandpa, but I just recently realized I think it's his uncle, right? Okay, he wrote a song for his uncle. They came from a fishing family. And there was the tradition over in Scotland, at least back in the day, was, when the fishing families would go out, it was usually the men. And so the ladies of the village and the families would knit sweaters for them, and they made the sweaters out of wool. Not just because they're somewhat waterproof, but they're very warm. And the other theory is that fish do not eat wool. So along with what they would do, then they would take, each family had a design. And so they would knit a specific design into the sweater. On top of that, they would take a gemstone, a birthstone, a family crest or something like that, and they would put that in the sweater as well to specifically identify the men that were on the ship. And so that if, by chance, one of those sweaters washed up on shore, the village knew who it belonged to. And the reason I love doing this song, especially in today's world, and I don't want to get morose any more than the story, but, when these guys would go out, this wasn't just your average vocation. You never knew if they were coming back, They would be gone for months, and you never knew if the storms would overtake them. And so when I get to travel around doing music for a living, meeting wonderful people like you, listening to stories, and I hear all the time stories about my mom just got Alzheimer's, my dad just got cancer, my sister died of whatever, and there's been a miscarriage, or then there's stupid, ridiculous acts like buses or trucks driving into bike paths in New York City, and then let's not even talk about Vegas, and that's just what's happening here in our states, and it's nobody's fault. I saw the sign. I'm not going to get political. I'm not going to let you know either way where I am at, but I'm just saying it's nobody's fault. It's just we go out on the sea of life, and sometimes we don't come back, and sometimes our loved ones don't come back. But when that sweater washes up on shore, I believe God looks down and he says, hang on, you may not be able to recognize that person because they're chewed up and beat up beyond all recognition. But he's wearing my sweater. I know who that is. This is called Ready for the Storm. Waves crashing, the tide rolls out. It's an angry sea, but there is no doubt that the lighthouse will keep shining out to warn this lonely sailor. And the lightning strikes and the wind cuts cold through the sailor's bones, through the sailor's soul, till there's nothing left that he can hold except this rolling ocean. Oh, I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready, I am ready for the storm. I'm ready for the storm. Oh, give me mercy for my dreams, 'cause every confrontation seems to tell me what it really means to be this lonely sailor. And when the sky begins to clear and the sun it melts away my fear, I cry a silent weary tear for those who mean to love me. Oh, I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. I'm ready for the storm. Well, the distance, it is no real friend, and time will take its time. You will find that in the end, it brings you me, this lonely sailor. And when you take me by your side, and you love me warm, you love me, and I should have realized I had no reason to be frightened. Oh, I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. Ready for the storm. says the Beatles can't be spiritual? Thank y'all. There's always a point in that song there's always this danger if I do Ready for the Storm and I tell the story and I can hardly sing. So sometimes I debate whether I should tell the story afterwards, but so thanks for not like throwing tomatoes at me for me. I was like, yeah, sound like I was going through puberty again. While I'm on the theme of storm or storms and stuff like that, I'm going to play you an original creation of mine. The nice part about being from central Illinois or Indiana, where it's just flat until the day is long, you get to see storms coming in from the west a lot. And basically, I don't know what you do up here in Michigan, but in Indiana, we don't go in the basement until we see a funnel cloud. We sit out there and we just watch it, and we're like, wow, this is cool. So this was one of those times. Had this just massive, just insane, dark-looking storm coming in from the west, and I sat in my my in-laws' library. They had a beautiful, big, westerly-facing picture window, and I played along with the storm and the rain. So this is just called Storm. Thank you. Oh, well, the hook is coming out in about 15 minutes. Is that right? Oh, 15 minutes. You're going to give me the... No? I can go a little bit over. Is that okay?
Yeah, we'll let you.
All right, thank you. Okay. The mob has spoken.
You know, if they ever say no, you're going to be sorely hurt.
I know. I always, I think about it like every time I go, okay, is it okay if I play 3 more? And nobody's ever gone, no, get off the stage. I'm not quite sure. I'll be like, oh, dang. I guess I better stop asking that. Give someone the opportunity. They're going to do it. You know that, right? I think I have time for this one, so I'll throw it in here and find out. This is another original piece of mine. It's just simply called The Measure. It's based on something that I think we've lost in the world and America, and that's something known as the golden rule. Or other people call it karma. It's the same thing. Do unto others, and the measure you deal out, it's going to be measured back. This is called The Measure. Thank you. I didn't grow up in an extremely musical family. It wasn't one of those families where you had to take 2 years of piano before you learned the trumpet or anything else. But my folks did. They used to sing on live radio, and up back in northern Wisconsin, and back when they did that sort of thing. And so my dad, he was, he had a really good voice, but he had horrible rhythm. He had a great range. He could sing tenor and bass, but yeah, ironically, his favorite Christmas song was "Little Drummer Boy." Oh. True story. It was just ironic, and he used to walk around the house trying to clap and sing at the same time, and it just didn't work. So we used to have to stand beside Dad and hit his leg while we were singing to keep him in rhythm, which was always kind of interesting. I love my dad. He's been gone for a really long time. But back when, I think I was listening to Dan Fogelberg way before this, but this song always was in my heart, and even more so now that he's gone. This is Leader of the Band. Known the child alone and wild, a cabinet maker's son. His hands were meant for different work, and his heart was known to none. He left his home and went his lone and solitary way, but he gave to me a gift I know I never can repay. Quiet man of music, denied a simpler fate. He tried to be a soldier once, but his music wouldn't wait. He earned his love through discipline, a thundering velvet hand, and his gentle means of sculpting souls took me years to understand. The leader of the band is tired, and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my instrument, and his song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I am just a living legacy to the leader of the band. My brothers' lives were different, for they heard another call. One went to Chicago and the other to St. Paul. And I'm in Colorado when I'm not in some hotel, living out this life I've chosen, grown to know so well. The leader of the band is tired and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my instrument, and his song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I am just a living legacy to the leader of the band. Thank you for your music and the stories of the road. Thank you for my freedom when it came my time to go. I thank you for your kindness and the times when you got tough. But Papa, I don't think I said I loved you near enough. The leader of the band is tired and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my instrument, and his song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I am to the leader of the band. I am a living legacy to the leader of the band. Thank you. Y'all have been so incredibly fun to play for. Thank you. I'm going to do a song that I only did once, and that was last night as public. So this is a brand new song. I started writing it right after the Vegas shooting. And it was one of those things, I don't know about you guys, I mean, when something like that happens, you know, it was out in Vegas, you know, it felt like it was somewhere else, you know, I mean, it was, but it didn't quite feel as big as 9/11, you know, of course it probably wasn't as big as that, you know, but it didn't quite hit me, like even the Houston flood. I don't know why, but, you know, I don't know, maybe it was just the magnitude, maybe I have more friends in Houston than Vegas, I don't know. But it was just, maybe there was a bunch of stuff going on, and I was just kind of like, really? Another thing? You know? Maybe I was just more angry. But I started writing this song, started thinking about it, and I played it for some people on Facebook, and it was just in the very beginning stages of it. And I was just kind of, I said, you know, this is very rough, but I'd just like to play this song for just y'all to just find some calm and some peace. And the overwhelming majority of the people wrote back, and the word that popped up the most was hope. And so I'm not sure where exactly this particular title to the song came from exactly. I don't know if someone exactly said this or I just kind of pieced it together. But this is called Bent But Never Broken. Thank you. Oh gosh. Can I do 3 more? Sure. Is that okay? Thank you. I'm always amazed at the resiliency of not just humans, but of us here in America. And I know there's been many tragedies across the pond and and places like that too. But I really do love America. I love our country. I love the people that make it up, and that goes on both sides, all right, and everywhere in between. I really do. And I'm so always just incredibly blessed to do what I do, travel around and talk to people and find what really makes America. It's not politics. It's not Washington. You guys make America. Okay? Thank you for doing that. And that's as political as I'm going to get. I'm going to play a song now. But I thank you for this is what makes America, what you have in here, and the way you treat your neighbor, the way we treat our families and those that are hurting. It starts in our backyard. It starts in Bob's barn. This is a song by the man who got me introduced to the hammered dulcimer, and since I'm feeling extremely patriotic tonight, I'm going to play this song. It's called Here in America. Saints and children, we are gathered here to hear the sacred story, and I'm glad to bring it to you with my best rhyming and rhythm, 'cause I know the thirsty listen, and down to the waters come, and the Holy King of Israel loves me here in America. If you listen to my songs, I hope you hear the water falling. Hope you feel the oceans crashing off the coast of North New England. Wish I could be there just to see it. 2 summers past I was, and the Holy King of Israel loves me here in America. And if I were a painter, I do not know which I'd paint. The calling of the ancient stars or a sampling of the saints. There's so much beauty around us for just 2 eyes to see, that everywhere I go, I'm looking. Once I went to Appalachia, for my father, he was born there, and I saw the mountains waking with the innocence of children, and my soul is still there with them, wrapped in the songs they brought. And the Holy King of Israel loves me here in America. And I've seen on the highways of 1,000,000 exit ramps, 2-legged memorials to the laws of happenstance, waiting for 4-wheeled messiahs to take them home again. But I am home anywhere if you are where I am. And if you listen to my songs, I hope you hear the water falling. Hope you feel the oceans crashing off the coast of North New England. Wish I could be there just to see it. 2 summers past I was, and the Holy King of Israel loves me here in America. That went okay, didn't it? Well, thank you again. I'm sorry if I went too long. But Bob, it's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for all you do. No, he's coming up here to get the cane. Yes, sir.
If you folks like this, tell people. If you don't like it,
Don't tell anybody.
that's right. Give Ted Yoder another round of applause. And he's got CDs and paraphernalia over here for sale, and we appreciate if you patronize them. I just noticed Bill Barcroft's here again. Give Bill a big Big round of applause. I guess he goes to Florida the 14th, and we didn't expect him to be here for the second time. He's recovering from that stroke. We like Bill. We like Ted, too.